absolutely. Definitely. Great. That's yes. Okay. Thank you.
That ain't right. This is right.
Broadcasting live by the light of a single swinging bow, deep in an underground bunker marked only by a nondescript entrance somewhere in rural Oregon. Don't even try to find him. Don't even try. Here's Larry with this week's guest. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Leo's Coast to Coast.
Against doctor's orders. Against saying no screen time. By gosh, our police need that screen time. And we are not going to let them down. Hello, everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast, to sea to shining sea. This is your host, Larry, from a hidden bunker in Oregon. Humbly yours. Welcoming the state of Tennessee, Texas, Corvallis, Oregon, Saskatchewan, Boston, Massachusetts, Las Vegas, Nevada is here, Austin, Texas, El Paso, and to the world we say hello to you. Welcome. This is a special show, very important show, because this show had to happen. This show had to happen now, not any more days. Okay, let me start off by saying, I know that you guys have a lot of hurt right now with the live PD cancellation announcement. That too shall pass. It does. We're not going to have no live PD forever. Media people are smart. They're going to bring the show back. It will be on a different network most likely, but it will come back. You don't have number one shows thrown on trash heaps and left to die. It won't happen. Plus, live PD showed too much of what the good that law enforcement does on a daily basis than to let this incident that happened in Minneapolis ruin everything. I promise you that. That's going to happen. Mark these words down now. No, not yet. Not yet, but good enough that this has to go on. Hello, Tammy from Austin, Texas. Jeanette, thanks for the belated birthday wish. I didn't think I'd get that today. Hi, Lancaster, New York. Let's get to it. We have from the courage, and I do mean courage, thank you, East Providence, Rhode Island, for your courage to allow one of your police officers to come on a live show, take questions from people who love them, people who might have differing opinions about them, but at least give them a chance to be here. To the East Providence Police Department, God bless you for showing what law enforcement does when they get pushed into a corner. God bless you. It was the right decision, and it's right for America, because we need to put the police target off their back. The police don't condone what happened. My opinion. I know they don't. I talked to them. They are frustrated with what happened. They're terribly frustrated with what happened, but they're not your enemy. That's why we're here. We want you to meet one of the police officers who was on live PD, so you can get to know them as a human being and realize they're just like you. They have feelings, families, lives. They're just like you. They're not heavy-handed dictators. They care. I'd like to introduce to you a very good man who puts his life on the line every day despite people throwing things at him, terrible stuff happening to him, but he still bravely puts on his uniform and serves his community. And for that, I am so honored to bring to you K-9 Officer Jay Rainville from the East Providence, Rhode Island Police Department. That is the man himself right there. Right there. Officer Rainville, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We are very honored to your department to allow you to come on this show. Now, what you don't hear yet, you don't see him, and you won't see him, but you'll hear him, is Captain Bill Burt from the Missoula County Sheriff's Office. Now, both of these guys were on season 3 of Live PD. Please forgive some of the mistakes. I'm still on a concussion protocol. I was in a car accident where I was hit by a car a couple weeks ago, and I'm still a little cloudy, but I couldn't not do this anymore. I couldn't stay silent. So Captain Burt has very kindly volunteered his time from Montana to look at your comments that you put on the screen there, and he's going to read ones that he thinks are pretty darn special to Officer Rainville. Captain Burt, how are you today, buddy?
Excellent, excellent. I'm watching the feed, and I do have a little bit of a delay, so this is still going to work, but it's going to be. I'm picking things up about 5 or 6 seconds after they come up.
Yeah, well, you're being kind because it's more than 5 or 6. We have a lot of people here right now. I'd like to welcome from coast to coast the country that cares about people and wants answers, but also has a good heart. For those of you who may have different opinions on the police, meet one. Now, after you get done, think about it. That's all we ask. All right, want to welcome Las Vegas, Nevada. Toot Sweet back in the saddle again. Thanks for coming in again. Appreciate you having the courage to be here. Hi, Captain Burt's. Lots of Captain Burt's. Lots of hi there, Officer Rainville. Boy, you are already being loved. Nicole Crum. Hello, Officer Rainville and Officer Chico. Canine Chico, is he hanging around there?
No, he's not with me today, unfortunately. It's my day off, and I'm actually at some family's house. So I was unable to bring him with me today.
It's okay. Not a problem. Okay, Captain Burt. So here's how it's going to work, folks. You guys type your questions on the screen for Officer Rainville. Captain Burt is going to be reading your questions, and he'll be picking the ones he likes and asking Officer Rainville those questions. Plus, he may throw in a few of his own. And you might just find we might get a surprise or two live PD hero that might just drop on by. I got one I see right now that I hope Captain Burt reads from 2970 carryover in Massachusetts. I hope you do. That's a good one.
It's a little bit delayed for me, and so I'm not.
I know. That's how it works, Captain Burt. Yeah, don't worry about the delay. You just read what you can, all right? And then we'll get those questions on. Don't worry about the delay. I'll handle that. But you just see the questions, ask him what he's got, and then he'll take care of the rest, okay?
Absolutely. I see one from Jeanette asking Officer Jay if the events from the last few weeks have changed your opinion about police work.
No, I mean, this is something that I've been doing for about 11 years now, and regardless of what happens in the police world, I'm going to put my uniform on every day. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to serve the citizens of the city that I work in, and do the best I can to help them out and better their lives in some way. So it definitely hasn't changed my opinion for my job itself. But obviously, it was a tragedy that happened. But I still love the job, and I'm going to continue to do it 100%. Every day.
Live with Officer Jay Rainville from East Providence, Rhode Island. Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County Sheriff's Office doing the big assist by reading your questions. Put them on screen. Captain Burt will get to them. Understand, a little bit of a delay. Got to realize, hey, we're in a hidden bunker somehow, and then this hidden bunker goes all the way to Rhode Island and then gets intercepted halfway in Missoula County, Montana. That's how it's working today. So a little bit of a delay. So Captain Burt, what else you got for him?
Well, Jill was asking how long have you been a canine officer, and how long have you had your current dog?
Great question.
First dog in 2012. He was a patrol explosive dog. He was a retired military dog, and I only had 2016 when he had some health issues and had to be retired. And then I got Chico in 2016, and he was certified for the Rhode a few months after that. So I've been with Chico for I guess around 4 years now, and loved every second of it. He's a great dog, great partner. Couldn't ask for anything more.
Great stuff. All right. Thank you, Captain. Thank you, Officer Rainville. Okay, Cap, what else you got there, brother?
Just lots of nice comments. I'm glad that just lots of comments of support and appreciation for what you're doing and being on the show.
So lots of folks are thanking you for your work, not only on the show, but also in your community, Officer Rainville. That's pretty cool stuff.
Absolutely. It's great. We definitely we love the support. We need it, especially from our community that we serve.
There you go. Any new questions, Captain Burt?
Well, I love it when I get this one. What's the funniest stop you've been on?
funniest. God. There's been quite a few over my years. It's tough to put me on the spot. It's tough to pinpoint exactly one, but I mean, there's definitely a lot that you have laughs with, that you think about later on. Maybe not in the moment, but when you look back at it at the end of your shift or the next day, and I mean, you just laugh about it. But I mean, it's a lot of the stops, a lot of the encounters we have. They're not all. I mean, most of them aren't bad. It's a lot of stuff that you can laugh about, and you know, even the people that are involved, you get to joke around with them a little bit and just have some fun with it. It's not, you know, not everything we do is bad. There's a lot of good people out there and a lot of good interactions that we have on a daily basis, which makes it a lot of fun.
Okay, that's good stuff. Thank you for that, Captain Burt. Anything else?
I like this question in particular just because I like and admire Craig Soroka so much. The question is, how many times has Soroka lost a bet and had to wear the bite suit?
Oh, I hope you'd ask that question. That's a great one.
I'm still waiting on the last bet that he lost for him to suit up and get in the car and have Chico jump through the window. We're still waiting on that one. He hasn't come through for that yet, but he's pretty good about it. He's one of the only ones in the police department that will put a suit on and you know, help me out. But,
So let me get this straight, because he's one of my favorite guys too. So Inspector Soroka has put the bite suit on too. He's been a good sport about that.
Absolutely.
Well, if he doesn't, I'm going to challenge him to do it. If he doesn't, I'm going to personally make a trip out to East Providence, and I'll volunteer to sit in the car and let him bite me.
That's awesome. That would be awesome.
Folks, want to apologize. There was an echo to begin with. I apologize. My computer was dead at 30 minutes ago. And by the grace of God, it came back on, and I'm grateful. So things got messed up. Thanks a lot for understanding about the echo. Echo should be gone now. And now on with the show. Go ahead, Captain Burt. What do you got?
There was a question about Chico and what kind of work he does, and this one in particular is asking if he's had any successful searches for missing persons.
He's a patrol narcotic dog, so he does do tracking, which would help with missing persons. He, being his breed as a Malinois, he's 100 miles an hour all the time, so that's not his best quality tracking. We've had some successful tracks that weren't for missing persons, but as far as, you know, him locating any missing persons, we haven't had any great success with that yet. No, but a lot of other things he's done great. Narcotic work, tracks for you know, people that take off on us and stuff like that, but no success in the missing person level yet.
Very good. Live with Officer Jay Rainville from East Providence, Rhode Island, and we have the incomparable Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County, Montana, reading him your questions on screen, so keep them coming. Cap, what's next?
All right, I just saw one come up and it just faded away. I want to get back to that one. I need another comment to come up so I can see it. It was along the lines of...
Hold on, buddy. Hold on. Okay, so question came up with, and this just went jumping right to my Bluetooth headphones because I'm trying to avoid an echo here as well. Question was, if you could spend some time working with somebody from another live PD department, and I know this puts you on the spot, so I want to be careful with it. Who would it be, maybe, or maybe pick a few that you'd like to spend some time with and maybe have a ride along with?
Right off the top of my head, I'd say Lieutenant Danny Brown down there in was it South Carolina? I mean, he's a go-getter. He's an unbelievable officer. I mean, the stuff that he does day in, day out. I mean, taking drugs and guns off the street, and then just, you know, being a great guy in general. I mean, he definitely would be someone I'd like to you know, to ride along with on a shift and kind of see how he goes about his business on a day-to-day basis.
Thank you very much. Live again with Officer Jay Rainville from the East Providence Police Department. Nicole Crum, great comment. Chico's probably chasing Inspector Soroka around right now. LOL. maybe not.
I'm sure Chico love that, but no, Craig's a busy man today. He he wasn't able to come on the show and help us out, and he's not able to take any bites from Chico today. So maybe this week we'll get him back in that suit and get him out there for you guys.
There you go. All right, Cap, what you got?
I got a person who asked, and I faded away again. I don't see the name, so I apologize. But they asked what you would be doing if you weren't in law enforcement.
It's a tough question because this is really prior to long. I played professional baseball in the Minnesota Twins organization for 6 years, and once I had to retire from that due to injury, and that.
Wait a minute. You played baseball, professional
I did,
baseball.
yeah.
What position?
I was a pitcher.
Righty or lefty?
Righty.
Nice. What was your specialty pitch?
Before my injuries, I would definitely say it was my fastball. Then, after I had to have a shoulder surgery my second year into pro ball, and that changed the way I had to approach the game and how I went out there and played day to day. But pre-surgery, I'd say it was definitely a fastball, and after that, I had to kind of rely on some off-speed stuff to try to fool the hitters a little bit. But so I guess if it wasn't law enforcement, I would, and I was healthy enough, I'd love to still be playing baseball.
That's and that's what all pitchers, smart pitchers, do. Look at John Lester, good example. He's got it up there in age now. He doesn't rely so much on the heater. He goes to the changeup more often or the curve, and he has to mix his pitches up now to be out thinking that batter. Wow, what was your top gun speed? What were you hitting typically?
The hardest I ever threw was 98, and that was obviously pre. But I kind of sat around the 95, 96 mile an hour zone. But that was many, many years ago now.
Sorry, Cap, go right ahead. What you got?
No, I'm fascinated by this. Baseball's just my passion growing up. I stopped playing when I was about 18, so I love hearing about this. And just you say the Minnesota Twins organization for about 6 years. Did you go through single A, double A, triple A? Did you ever get to the show, or how did that work out?
No, I topped out. That was I had surgery. I had surgery in 2006, which was I was drafted in 2004. I had surgery in 2006, and then I just kind of never recovered. And my last 2 years I played was in Double A. Then I needed another surgery, and at that point in time, I just I decided that I didn't think the risk wasn't worth the reward for me. So that's when I decided to retire and move on, and that's when I got into policing.
Wow, that's something else, isn't it? Wow, Captain. And good for you for having the intelligence at that age to be able to say, okay, what's my future look like? That must have been a tough choice for you.
It was a difficult decision. I mean, it was obviously something that I didn't make overnight. I thought about it for several weeks, but at the end of the day, when you're in pain every day and you can't throw a baseball like you used to, and it's tough to, just to even get out there and even play catch without pain. I mean, at that point in time, the decision was kind of made for me. So.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Okay, live with Officer Jay Rainville, Canine Officer Jay Rainville from East Providence, and Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County Sheriff's Office reading your on-screen questions. Cap, what you got?
So, I already know the answer to this one, but there was a question related to your vehicle, and if you use the same vehicle all the time, then I think it would be good to explain to the people that are watching what maybe some of the special equipment that goes in the vehicle that has a K9 in it.
The question was kind of broken up. Could you just could you repeat that?
Yeah, I already know the answer to it, but there's some questions about what do you use the same vehicle all the time, and maybe you could fill some of the folks in on some of the special equipment that goes into a K9 vehicle.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have my own vehicle. It's one that it's outfitted to keep Chico safe in the back. It's a American aluminum kennel in the back. It keeps him from coming up to the front of the vehicle and keeps him from going in the trunk. The windows and the doors are all kind of protected too, so he can't go out the window even if they're down, anything like that. It has a bunch of heat alarms in it, so if it gets too hot, the sirens will go off to alert me that it's too hot in the vehicle. The windows will go down, a fan will kick on. So there's a lot of stuff in the vehicle that will keep him safe. And then I have his equipment, obviously, in the back, harnesses, all different lengths of leashes. I always keep his bite suit in the vehicle just in case someone wants to throw it on and do some training with him. There's a ton of equipment that goes with it. I mean, different collars, different types of things for whatever discipline we're doing. Definitely a lot of equipment, but the majority of the vehicle is just his kennel that keeps him safe and keeps him in the back.
Yeah, that kind of equipment has become really necessary for canines across the country. We know that. There was a question that will help the pops back up here.
Was it being hit by a baseball?
No, not being hit by a ball. It faded away. I need another one to pop up so that I can see it.
All right. Well, let me see if I can help you out here, buddy. We'll do what we can. All right, Kate Marshall. You could take a second to see it. I'll give you that question, and it's a funny question. She's in a wheelchair, Officer Rainville. That part's not funny, but she's talking about throwing down a challenge to you. So Captain Burt can take care of the rest.
I'm trying to get back to it. There's somebody asking about who was the biggest influence in your life. Who did you look up to?
Growing up, I would definitely say my father. I mean, he was always. I have an older brother, and he always was always support my brother and I in everything that we did, whether it would be sports or just literally anything. He was always there to. After school, he would help us, practice, whether it was baseball, hockey, literally anything that we ever needed. My father was there to help us out, and I mean, I don't think I'd be where I am today without his support and his dedication to helping us be the best we can, and no matter anything that we did.
Awesome. I love this question by Nicole because I know how I would answer it. Would you rather be tasered, pepper sprayed, or chased by a dog?
Oh, God. So all three of them aren't great, but if I had to pick, I would probably say, for me personally, I would rather take the taser. I've been bit by the pepper spray is just long lasting, and I hated that. But the taser is quick, so I think I would take the taser if I had a choice.
Live with Officer Jay Rainville from East Providence PD with Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County, reading your questions. Keep them coming on the stream, and we'll do our best to make sure we get them on. I see one here that's really good from Jill Bamai, our gold medal moderator from Ontario, Canada. Bless her heart. She says, "What are some of your favorite hobbies, Officer Rainville? What do you like to do in your off time?"
I think it's changed over the years. Probably the biggest thing that I do now is on my time off is I love spending time with my daughter. I have a 4-year-old daughter, and I mean, she's my world. So every chance I can, take to hang out with her and do some fun stuff with her, I'll definitely jump on that. But outside of that, I'd probably say I enjoy golfing. I still play hockey to try to stay in shape, and yeah, that's really about it. I mean, definitely sports is still one of my biggest big thing in my life, but my daughter's number one. I mean, that's my world, and every chance I can spend time with her, I do.
Very good. Live with Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence PD. Questions on the screen and comments. We appreciate them. In fact, we love them. Thank you for that. Got one for Captain Burt. It was inevitable. We will do it. Captain, what is your choice? Taser, spray, or a dog?
I'm right along with Jay. There is no way. The pepper spray is totally incapacitating to me, and without a bite suit on, I don't want to take a bite. So taser any day of the week. I like this question from Jill about how much training goes into the canines, and I don't think that people realize it's a 24/7, 365 job. You don't ever get a break from it. Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's definitely something over the years that people work with. Dan, it literally, the original training for a canine is depending on what their discipline is. Chico being a dual purpose, his patrol school was 10 weeks, Monday to Friday, and then his narcotic school was another 8 weeks. So I mean, right off the bat, you have 18 weeks before the dog's even certified to be on the road. and that's Monday to Friday every day. And then once the dog gets certified, we do 24 hours a month. So we get 3 8-hour trainings a month, but that's just with our certified trainer. And then every single day I do stuff on my own with him just to keep him ready to go. It tires him out, so he's not going crazy back there in the car. But it's literally every single day. If you don't do something with your dog every day, he's not. When you take him out of the car to use him, he's not going to be ready. So it's definitely a lot of work, something a lot of people don't realize, but I love it. If I could do this for the rest of my career, it's definitely something I would do.
Thanks, Jay. Appreciate that, Officer Rainville. Thank you.
Does Providence have a dedicated K9 team, or are you assigned to a team?
Nope. The only one, the only canine handler in our department. And I've been with East Providence for about 2.5. I actually lateraled over from a different police department where I actually had Chico, and I retired him when I left. And a couple months into Providence, I was fortunate enough for them to ask me if it's something I wanted to continue, and if Chico was able to come out of retirement and work, which obviously he was only about 4 years old at the time. So just everything kind of worked out, and right now I'm the only canine team in East Providence. But hopefully in the future we get a few more dogs. We definitely need them, and it'd be great to train out of every day.
Very good. We're live with Officer Jay Rainville from the East Providence Police Department. Folks, I want to let you know, I do know that the computer is glitching. I can see that. I want to apologize for it. Yours truly, I'm here, Cap, just a second. I said, just 1 second. I understand we're having some computer issues. I had this before the show started. This is something, you got to understand, the computer that I'm using is about 3 years old, which doesn't sound very old. But when you cut hundreds of hours of video and make it and do it, it's hard on a machine. And this machine is probably on life support now. So I've got to find a way to get a new machine so we can still do these shows. So please forgive me for what's happening on the screen with the kind of glitchiness. It's not intended. So please forgive me for that. Cap, you got another question for him?
Yeah, I love this question by Patty. Do you have a family member or friend that was a law enforcement officer that influenced your decision to go into law enforcement?
No, there's actually nobody in my family that's in law enforcement. To be honest with you, when I stopped playing baseball, I didn't really know what to do. And I have a bunch of friends that I went to high school with that went into law enforcement, and speaking with them, they all loved it. So, it's something I decided to try out. I applied to a police department. I got hired, went through the academy, and I've never looked back. I mean, I love it. It's definitely the right profession for me. And I'm just glad that I was able to get into it when I did.
Live with Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence Police Department K9, the sole K9 handler for East Providence. Would you do me a favor? Would you please let your superiors know, thank you. Thank you for allowing you to come and meet with people right now, because it is very, very special and it means a lot to people. So thank you, Officer Rainville. Thank you, East Providence as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Kate is asking, as far as being in a wheelchair and racing Chico, can you tell me what your reply was? Her sister called her right as you were getting ready to answer, and she missed it.
Yeah, Kate's question, she says, she talks a lot about her being in a wheelchair. So she says, being in a wheelchair, I love racing. That would be cool to meet you and Chico and see who's faster. I think the gauntlet has been thrown down. I give the nod to Kate. What do you think, Officer Rainville?
That would be definitely fun to see. I mean, if she wants to make her way to East Providence, we can definitely set that up, and we'll see who's faster and who can win that race.
There you go, Kate.
Who is the biggest prankster in East Providence Police Department?
I think everybody knows that. The answer, Dr. Stroke.
It starts with an S, ends with an A, right?
Absolutely. From morning to night, he's always doing something, and he's always keeping everyone with a smile on their face and on their toes, just to make sure that he's not doing something to get you. So you never want to be the one that he gets, but he's definitely the biggest prankster in the department for sure.
Yep. He has a great background story too, Officer Rainville, of his beginnings and where he came from. And he's a fascinating man. He has a great life story. I don't know if he's ever shared it with you, but ask you about it sometime. He really he's a success story in himself. Pretty cool.
Yeah, no, I spoke to him about it, but I've heard the comments that he made. I believe it was when he was in studio with Live PD, and yeah, I mean it's definitely inspiring what he's overcome and what he's done, and you know Inspector Stroke is a great guy. He's definitely always there when you need him. He'll help you out and do whatever you need. So definitely a inspiring story and a great guy.
Yeah, and thank you to Inspector Soroka for bringing you here because without him, this wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have been able to connect. Thank you very much, Inspector Soroka, for that and bringing us such a special man for this show. Cap, what you got, my friend?
So Nicole Crum wants to know if you work regular shifts or if you're on call in case Chico's needed for something else.
So my regular shift is day shift. I work 7:45 in the morning to 3:45 in the afternoon. It's not uncommon for me to work over, just because our department is short staffed. So I usually work till about midnight, at least a couple nights a week. But I'm on a 4-2 rotating schedule, so my days off vary every week. But I am on call 24/7 with Chico. So if I'm not at work and it's something that they need to call us in for, then they'll just call me in and we'll head in.
What does that look like then, Officer Rainville? Let's say it's 3 o'clock in the morning. You're sleeping. Been a long day. It's because a lot of people, especially in the west of the Rockies, don't realize the humidity and how much that can take out of people on the East Coast when the heat hits. You're ground to the bone, tired. Been working real hard, and you still have a family, a 4-year-old to take care of. And then that phone rings at 3 because they need you and Chico. That happens no matter what, even if it's Christmas morning, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, whenever they need us, I mean, they'll pick up the phone and call, and that's what it's all about. Sometimes if it's 2, 3, 4 in the morning and you're tired, and the phone ringing, it wakes you up. But once you realize what you're going in for, if it's something to try to find a missing child, or help out officers that lost a suspect or something, it's great. I mean, I love doing it. I'll never say no matter what time of the day it is. If they call me, I'm always ready to go in. And I mean, that's what it's all about. That's what you sign up for when you get a canine. And I think every handler around the country is in the same boat. They love it. It's why you do it.
Very good. Live with Officer Jay Rainville. Cap, let me ask him a question here that I've wanted to get out. It's really important. Officer Rainville, you do, and I know East Providence does a lot of work with kids, a lot of work with schools. Could you go into that and talk about some of the community service work you guys do to help make East Providence a better community?
Yeah, so our department is very community policing oriented. We everything we do, especially being on day shift, obviously that's when the schools are open. All of our day shift officers are assigned as ambassadors to a different school around the city. We're encouraged to go in every day, meet with the principal, meet with the teachers, walk around, just interact with the school children, get them comfortable with us. If they ever have any issues, they can come to us if they're too scared to talk to anyone else. And we just kind of want to break down that barrier. And I think we do a great job with it in East Providence, where we kind of humanize the badge. I mean, we don't want children to be nervous around police officers. We want them to be able to run up to us, talk to us, shake our hands, high five, whatever it may be. That's what it's all about at the end of the day. I mean, you want to put smiles on, the faces of young children. You want them to be happy when they see a police officer, and we do a great job with it, and it's definitely something I enjoy doing. I know everyone that I work alongside of enjoys it as well.
Thanks, Officer Rainville. Cap, you got something for him?
No, I just what he said is just awesome there, because not only is all that true, but it helps officers be familiarized with the school in case there is an emergency, and so they understand the layouts of them and be able to do that. So it's really, really encouraging to hear that they do that out there as well. That's awesome. Jill was asking. She says she hears pets barking in the background. Wants to know if you have other pets other than your canine.
I do. I have two other dogs. These dogs that are barking here, they're not mine, but I have Weimaraners as well. I have two Weimaraners, male and a female, and yeah, I mean those are of them. They get along pretty well with Chico, so it's
Live with Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence Police Department, right there. Officer Rainville, real quick question, and we'll get back to Cap Burt because he's catching up on these. There's a lot of comments for you. How many holidays, like we in our family have tradition, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. How many of those kind of holidays have you had to work on your shift because it's your job? You do quite a few of those in your career, or has it been not too many?
I can't tell you the last time I actually had a holiday where I was able to just sit down and relax. With a rotating schedule, and we bid our shifts every year. Depending on what group you're in, you can either bid a certain shift or a certain post to get the holiday group, and then you'd have the holidays off. And I'm kind of low on the totem pole, and as far as seniority in our police department. So, yeah, I don't get too many holidays off, which is fine. I mean, it's it is what it is. You enjoy your time when you can. But yeah, I haven't had a holiday in quite a while.
Well, the reason I asked that question is I want people to understand just how much you guys give back, how much you guys really do. And without asking for thank you, without asking for accolades, you do it because it's your job. And you do it kindly and with professionalism. And I honor you for that because I can't think of a holiday since I got out of radio that I haven't had off, except for church work, which was you always worked Easter, you always worked Christmas. I mean, you got to, that's church time. But what you do inspires a lot of people, and I think that's important to remember. Same with you, Captain Burt. I know you've spent most of your waking career helping people on holidays, so thank you as well for that. You got something else for this young man for us?
I do. I like this question by Nicole Crum because I know the answer is kind of multifaceted. So I'm going to try to read it verbatim. What happens if Chico is working hard and gets tired during the shift from humidity or just multiple back-to-back calls?
So with this particular breed, they're kind of prone to heat exhaustion. So I always try to make sure that if I do exercise them, it's early in the morning or later at night. If it's hot out, we'll try to do some of his maintenance training indoors for that particular time that it's warm. But if I have to just kind of spray him down with a hose to keep him cool, or just leave him in the car with the AC running for a while, just to kind of recuperate, we'll do that. But especially in the summer months, and it does get really, really humid up here. We try to avoid as much being outside in the heat. But obviously, if a call happens and we have to get out there, then we'll do what we can. If it's in the middle of a track or something and he gets tired, we'll just take a break. We'll just down him, give him some water right there, and then let him pick up where we left off.
It's an interesting thing with the dogs because, I mean, they'll work pretty hard for 15, 20 minutes, and people don't understand how hard that work is for them unless they can beat the break.
No, definitely, especially, obviously all canines use their nose to, whether it's to find drugs or bombs or guns, people. So that's definitely tiring. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of breathing for them. So they exhaust themselves very quickly. So you have to keep an eye on your dog. You have to know your dog. I'm fortunate enough to have been with Chico for, like I said, a little over 4 years now. And, I know him. I know when he's feeling good, when he's not feeling good, when he's on, not. So you just got to know your dog. You got to know, you got to keep an eye on them, make sure that they're safe. And at the end of the day, I mean, they're a very expensive tool, so you don't want anything bad to happen to them. And they're like family. I mean, you spend so much time with them. You want to make sure that they're good to go and they're healthy and they're safe, and they get to go home at the end of the night with you.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
So I like this last question, or another question by Mary Pluffin. She says, "What's one thing you like about your job, and one thing that you dislike about your job?"
I love the job as a whole. I love everything that that it entails. Obviously, you have good days and you have bad days. Whether it's a bad call or a bad scene that you go to and it weighs on you. But for me, I think my favorite thing about the job is having the dog, being able to interact with the community. I mean, no matter if I'm just driving down the street and the dog's barking and the kids come running out and they wanna see the dog, stuff like that. I love. I mean, I'll do it every day. I'd say the worst thing, I guess the hours. I mean, sometimes if you're working overnight and the holidays, I mean, you do miss a lot. You miss a lot of family time. Your kids grow up pretty quickly, and you don't get to see everything, whether it's a sporting event or a holiday or a birthday, stuff like that. Um, so a lot of you do miss a lot of family time. You miss a lot of the first when you have a young child. Um, but the smiles that you get to see on people's faces definitely what makes the job worth it.
We appreciate that, Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence PD, and Captain Bill Burt from the Missoula County Sheriff's Office together. Doesn't get much better than that, my friends. Your questions on screen. Keep them coming. We're going to go for another about 6 minutes, okay? 6 minutes. If we don't get to your question, please don't take it personally. There's a lot of questions, and we want to make sure to get to the ones we can, but it doesn't mean yours isn't important too, okay? We love you guys, and we love your questions. Keep them coming, okay? Cap, you got something for us?
Yeah, Samantha Steele is asking, is there a specific age that's ideal or optimal for training?
I think it all depends on just what you're looking for in a dog. When I got Chico, he was a little over a year old, and he was matured. He was great right out the gate. He picked up on his training. He excelled through his training pretty quickly. But then you have some dogs that at a year old may not be ready. So I think it all depends. It all depends on the trainer. It all depends on the breeder. It depends on the dog. I don't think there's an exact science to it, and that's why the fail out rate is quite high for police canines. So you gotta when you get a good one, you just gotta run with it, and you gotta be selective, and your trainer and your breeder have to know exactly what they're looking for.
That's an excellent answer. Good job with that. I think you hit everything about that. There's just a lot of good comments about this being a particularly good show today. I think you're doing an excellent job kind of opening up the knowledge base for how much work goes into the canines and how critical they are. So, good job with that.
Captain,
Thanks.
just 1 second for I got a question for him. I think it's kind of interesting. Officer Rainville, can you tell us a time when you genuinely left a situation and felt that you made a positive impact on that person? And I know there's plenty of stories, but is there one that maybe sticks out where you said, you know what, I'm glad I was there?
Like I said, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly one, in my career, but anything when you're able to locate, whether it's something that was stolen from somebody or, if you were able to track down if someone used say even something small as using a credit card and using up their money, if you're able to track down who did it, bring them justice when you head back to their warehouse and you let them know the final outcome of the situation. I mean, that's what it's all about when people just say thank you and they realize, that you realize that you made their day by finding something that was stolen from them, it could be something as little as them losing a piece of property and you're able to locate it and bring it back to them. I mean, that's what it's all about. We don't want the thanks, but it's nice to see the joy in their eyes when you are able to bring justice for them or you locate something, bring it back to them, whatever it may be.
Well, I want to share, let's expound on that. I want to share something I heard from a lady this week. It was after the live PD cancellation thing. And folks, again, we're not going to go there. We're just going to say that the show's going to come back. You just wait and see. It's going to happen. But she said, I'm afraid to tell my young daughter about this because it's her favorite show. She wants to become a law enforcement professional because of watching that show. Tell us about what it's like to work with kids a little more, if you would, because I know that you do put in time, not only in schools, but also in parks and playgrounds and stuff like that, because we've talked about this. You're a pitcher, man. You're a baseball guy, So, I mean, you see these kids out there playing and stuff. Talk about maybe a time when you kind of stop the car for a second just to encourage some kids along.
Well, I mean, it happens every day, not just with us in East Providence, but I mean, I'm sure all around the country, there's officers that will get out and they'll play catch with a child or whatever it may be. And I mean, we just kind of want to humanize who we are. I mean, a lot of people just see us as as when bad things happen, that's when the police get called. But that's not really what it's all about. I mean, we're there for the community. We're there to help. We try to just help out if it's a baseball practice going on or something, and we drive by. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a police officer getting out and just participating in that, and just putting some smiles on the kid's face, having fun, joking around. Just letting them know that we're humans too. We're not just a badge. We don't just show up when bad things happen or when the police are called. We can partake in community events and have fun and laugh and joke around and just have a good time.
Very good. We're live with Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence PD, and with Captain Bill Burt, Missoula County Sheriff's Office. And Cap, we got time for 3 more questions. The final 3, you pick them. Go for it.
All right, I'd like to phone by Nicole asking if you've ever worked in other areas of law enforcement, any other specialties like SWAT. Narcotics is she asked about, but I know that's with a dog. Any other special areas of law enforcement?
No, so I came on the job in 2010, and I got my first dog in 2012. So I've had canine for quite a while. But as far as other kind of assignments I've done, I've been an FTO. I've been part of BCI in my previous department. Those are all specialty units we have now in East Providence. We have a narcotics unit, we have a SWAT unit, we have BCI. So it's not stuff that I do here anymore. My main objective is patrol and canine, but nothing like SWAT. It's not something that I've ever gotten into. I do tag along when they have call outs and stuff with the dog, just because if it's something that the dog needs to be utilized on. But I'm not on the SWAT team personally. So just been canine basically my whole career.
Thanks.
I got one more here for you that I'm kind of interested in too. Pertaining to major professional sports, what are your favorite teams in each of the major sports?
For hockey, I'm definitely a Bruins fan. Obviously, I got to say I'm a Red Sox fan, being from where I am, but I'm a huge Dodgers fan. I don't know how it happened. Love the Dodgers. I've always been to LA and watch a game there, but I haven't quite made it out yet. Maybe if the season gets going this year or maybe next year, I'd like to make it out there. But I don't know how it happened. But I am a huge Dodgers fan, and obviously I'm a Patriots fan as well.
Well, I got it. Before you jump in, Cap, with this last question, and please interact with us here on this. Officer Rainville, 3 oldest ballparks in Major League Baseball. Okay, your site to one of them. That's the oldest. That's Fenway Park. Okay, number 2, Wrigley Field. Okay, they're separated by about 3 years. The third one, do you know which one it is? The 3rd oldest ballpark in all of Major League Baseball. You won't believe it. It's Dodgers Stadium in Los Angeles.
Is it?
It's been that long that they moved from the New York City suburb of Brooklyn, cross country with the Giants. One went to San Francisco, of course, and the Giants. The other went to L.A. And they built the ballpark at Chavez Ravine. Their first season, they played at the Coliseum where the Olympics were held. That was their first season. Then they moved finally to Dodger Stadium, built in 1963. So that's the 3rd oldest ballpark in baseball.
I tell you, it's a beautiful stadium. I mean, just from pictures, I can see that. But I'd love to get out there in person, take it all in, enjoy a few games, and just enjoy LA in general.
Best hot dog in the major leagues. Dodger dogs are the very best, man. They really are. Oh, you'd love them. Captain Burt, what do you got for the final question, buddy?
It's from Nicole again, and before I ask this one, I just want to say it was a pleasure doing this with you, Jay. When I ask the question, I'm going to have to hang up, and I'll catch up with you later. It's a lot of fun, and I hope we get to do this again. Nicole asks, is there any areas you would like to do other than canine as you get further into your career? Or maybe better asked, if the canine thing ever goes away, what area would you like to maybe go into?
Okay, we'll stop for just a second. Thank you, Captain Burt. You got to hang up when you do. That's fine. But we all want to take a moment to say thank you to Captain Bill Burt from Missoula County for helping make my life doable to do this show today. If it hadn't been for him to read your comments, there couldn't have been a show because I can't focus that clearly on your comments. So again, Captain Burt, thank you for what you did.
My pleasure.
Thank you
Very much for the invite.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, there's your question, Officer Rainville. What do you think? The question is there any areas you'd like to do other than canine as you get further into your career?
I don't know. I love, like I said, I love being canine. It's something that I can definitely see me doing the rest of my career. Prior to coming to East Providence, like I said, I was in a different department where I had canine, but I was also a sergeant up there. So I've been in the supervisor role. I did enjoy it, but at the end of the day, I love being canine. If for whatever reason canine goes away, I'd probably either test for detectives and a sergeant here in East Providence. But if I can keep the canine, that's something that I'll continue to do. And also, I enjoy traffic. I mean, I try to get into the traffic division that we have in our department as well. So, I mean, there's definitely a few other things that I could see myself doing, but if I can stay with canine, then I'll do that the rest of my career.
All right, Officer Jay Rainville, East Providence PD. I want to get to one final question. This comes from Kate Marshall. She says, again, she's in a wheelchair. She'll let us know that pretty much every time because she's stuck. I mean, she's in a bad spot that thank goodness we're not in. So that's why she brings it up. She says, again, as far as being in a wheelchair and wanting to help police, would being an officer, to help police, would being an officer in a wheelchair be too dangerous? And if not, can you tell me what kind of other things I might be able to do to be an officer? Great question by Kate.
I mean, there's a lot of different things that we as officers need help with, whether it's stuff in the station. I mean, I can't really think off the top of my head in Rhode Island. I mean, we're a fairly small agency compared to a lot of the other ones that you see on that were on live PD. I mean, we only have at our best we have 100 officers. So I mean, I think a lot of the departments that we follow have several thousand. So I'm sure there's a lot more positions that she would definitely be able to help out the department and officers in. But I mean, we have dispatch, we have records, we have a bunch of positions like that in any police department where you'd be able to be on the radio, help out officers, take walk-ins, stuff like that. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of different positions that anyone could help out in, and that's probably an avenue she could take and definitely be part of the department and part of a police department and enjoy it and be with us.
Officer Jay Rainville from East Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you, my friend. Appreciate your kindness today.
Thank you, Larry. It was a great time. I enjoyed being here, and hopefully we got to many questions and everyone enjoyed the show.
I know they did. Except for Samantha Steele in El Paso. She says everyone knows Astros is the best team, obviously. Sure, if you like to cheat people's signs. Oh, I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Out loud. Sorry, Sam. Sorry. 13-year baseball coach here. You don't steal signs. Not like that.
Nope, not.
That's one of the baseball rules. Okay, there's a couple, right? Officer Jay, couple of baseball rules that are unwritten, but they're rules. You don't steal the other team's signs. That's number one. You're not supposed to do that. Number two, you never break up a no-hitter with a bunt. You don't do it.
Never. That's a cardinal sin right there. You never do that.
Yep. So, two little baseball things there, Sam. Thought we'd help you. But you still have a World Series. Be happy with that. That's a good thing. There's lots of teams out there who would love to have a World Series, my friend. Now, Angie, you said the third oldest ballpark is Boss Field here in Evansville, Indiana. Understand, we're talking about Major League ballparks. That's what we're talking about. Major League Baseball ballparks. So there's lots of old ballparks out there, no question. But for the major leagues, number one's Fenway, 2, Wrigley, 3, Dodger Stadium. That's the truth. So, Officer J. Rainville, we always do this. It's been a tradition since day one on this show. Goodness sakes, we're approaching 2.5 years of doing these shows on Saturdays. What would you like to tell the folks from Live PD Nation? This is your time to have the mic and tell them how you feel.
I think, first of all, I would just let them know that we appreciate them tuning in every, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Thursdays, to watch the show, able to see how we do our jobs every day, and that we're humans as well. We're not just a badge and a gun, and the support that they give us. I mean, that's huge. You can see that with everything that's going on right now. I mean, they're still supporting us. So I just want to thank them for that. And, like you said, maybe it's not over, and we'll see you guys again. We'll see.
I think that time is coming this fall, because being in the media as long as I was, it's very hard to find a number one show. It's really hard.
Absolutely.
Networks have think tanks that they pay big money for to try and find that next number one. Live PD was that perennial, every week, number one. And media, some smart executive, I think at Fox, we'll see, is going to say, you know what? There's a lot of good being done by that show as well. And if we stand tall right now and support them, we will get through this together. Officer J. Rainville, thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. It was a great time.
Thank you. Well, and for a parting gift, we'd like to give you absolutely zero, but our thanks. And for that, we really do mean it. Thanks for coming, brother. You're a good man. I'm going to have you hold on this line. I'm going to say goodbye to the folks. Would you wait with us?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, brother. All right. Hey, everybody. How about that? That's a guy that's in the business, right? He does the work, the heavy lifting, and with a smile. I know, look, America, it's not broke. It's not. There was a bad situation happening in Minneapolis that we all feel bad about. We do. Not one of us condones it. But because one bad situation happened in a city in America doesn't mean you rip it all apart and start over, because there are so many thousands of men just like the man you just met who do the job with kindness and with bravery and with care. And for that, we thank him. God bless you all. Thanks for watching this special edition of the Leo's Coast to Coast show. We'll do our best to come back with a YouTube with Friends show. Sorry, my mind's thinking of two different shows and my brain's officially exploded. So, Officer J. Rainville, thank you. Captain Bill Burt, Missoula County, thank you. Thank you to all of you for coming by to watch. We appreciate your kindness. YouTube with Friends show, maybe today, 7 p.m. East. You never know. See how I feel. God bless you guys. See everybody. Bye. Be good people.